What if I told you that you are not who you think you are? Your name, your body, your memories, your successes, your failures, all of these are not your true identity, but parts of a story that you have believed to be your truth for years. Now pause for a moment and think. What if the 4 sentences spoken thousands of years ago in the Upanishads could forever change this entire story of yours, your entire identity? What would happen? We live in a world that constantly pulls our attention in new directions every moment. We are continually searching for something that can give us completeness, peace, or satisfaction. We chase goals, accumulate things, collect experiences, and keep believing that maybe the next turn will give us what we are looking for. But what if the deepest truth of life is not in the future, but hidden within us in this very moment? What if it has been waiting for us for centuries in the Vedic knowledge of the true Upanishads? These are not just sentences to remember. These are declarations that have the power to completely change your entire notion of I. They can shake the foundation on which you have built your identity and reveal a reality far more vast, free, and profound than your imagination. This is not just a journey of knowledge, but a journey into the heart of consciousness. Today, we will not only try to understand these 4 great statements, but also attempt to experience their meanings within ourselves. We will embark on a journey from the illusion of limited identity to the recognition of our true nature. So stay with us until the end, because it is possible that this journey of self-exploration will forever change your perspective of yourself and the world. Before truly understanding these truths, we must recognize the subtle illusion in which we live our entire lives. The sages of the Taittiriya Upanishad have provided a wonderful map of human experience called the Panchakosha, that is, 5 sheaths. Imagine that your true self is a pure, radiant light. Over time, this light becomes covered by 5 layers, and gradually we come to identify those layers as our true self, while the inner light becomes hidden from our sight. The very first and outermost layer is the Annamaya Kosha, that is, the physical body. This body is born, grows, changes, falls ill, and one day comes to an end. Yet we associate our identity with it. We begin to understand our form, strength, and health as the I. We say, I am sick. I am getting old. But pause for a moment and think. If you have seen your body changing from childhood until now, can you really be the same body? The next layer is the Pranamaya Kosha, the vital energy sheath. It is subtler than the physical body and pervades it as the force of life itself. This is the realm of prana, the vital energy that animates your body. It is your breath, the rhythm of life, the power that enables you to walk, think, speak, and act. When we say, I am tired, or I am full of energy, we are identifying ourselves with this layer. But prana is constantly changing. Sometimes it is strong, sometimes weak. The breath keeps flowing in and out, changing from moment to moment. If you can observe your breath, if you can witness the movement of energy within you, then who is the observer? Can the one who watches the flow of prana truly be that flow itself? Next comes the Manomaya Kosha, the sheath of thoughts, emotions, desires, and memories. This is the realm where the mind constantly keeps talking. It is here that the ego creates its world of identity. We say, I am worried, I am creative, I remember this, But pay close attention. Your mind is like a continuous movie playing on the screen of your awareness. Thoughts keep changing. Emotions keep changing. Memories come and go. But who is it that is watching them? You are not the movie. You are the screen upon which the entire movie appears. Deeper still lies the Vijnanamaya Kosh, the sheath of intellect, discernment, and wisdom. This is the faculty that analyzes, judges, compares, reasons, and makes decisions. It is here that beliefs are formed and the feeling of I am a separate individual becomes firmly established. We identify ourselves with our opinions, knowledge, achievements, and understanding. We say, I know this, I believe this, or I have decided this. Yet even the intellect is not constant. Ideas change, beliefs evolve, decisions are revised, and understanding deepens over time. But if you can observe your intellect while it is thinking, reasoning, and deciding, then who is it that is aware of the intellect itself? Can the observer be the very thing that is being observed? And finally comes the Anandamaya Kosha, the sheath of bliss. This is the subtlest layer. In deep, dreamless sleep, we catch a glimpse of it, where a peaceful happiness and rest are experienced. Many people think that this is the final state. But the Upanishads say that this too is a sheath, because when you wake up, you say, I slept very well. This means that there was a witness who experienced even that peace, even though the mind was completely silent. And now we stand before the question that is the gateway to the entire journey of the Upanishads. If I am not the body, if I am not the life force, if I am not the mind, if I am not the intellect, and if I am not even the enjoyment of deep sleep, then who am I? This is the question that gives birth to the quest. And this is the place from where the four great sayings of the Upanishads begin to lead us toward the answer. And the first answer to this question is found in the Aitareya Upanishad of the Rig Veda. The first Mahavakya is Prajnanam Brahma. That is, consciousness itself is Brahman. Here, Brahman does not mean any deity or particular person. Brahman is the name of that supreme truth which is the foundation of all existence, from which everything arises and in which everything resides. But the depth of this Mahavakya goes even further. It does not merely say that your consciousness is Brahman. It declares that consciousness itself is the fundamental reality of this entire universe. Now the question arises, what is this consciousness? It is not thought. It is not memory. It is not even a collection of knowledge. It is that pure, luminous awareness that makes every experience possible. It is the light by which you observe your thoughts. It is the silence in which you hear the sounds of the world. Thoughts come and go. Emotions arise and calm down. Experiences keep changing. But that awareness in which all this happens does not itself change. It is always present. Understand this with a simple analogy. Your mind is like the sky, and thoughts and emotions are like clouds. Sometimes dark clouds of anger, fear, or sadness cover it. Sometimes bright clouds of happiness and enthusiasm appear. But they have no effect on the sky. Neither can the dark clouds make it dull, nor can the bright clouds make it more beautiful. The sky simply allows them to come and go. In the same way, you are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the awareness in which all these appear. This is the essence of the wisdom of Brahman. The realization that consciousness is not merely your personal experience, but the fundamental basis of existence. Interestingly, modern science has also not been able to provide a clear answer to the mystery of consciousness. Science can measure brain activities, understand the structure of neurons, but the question remains open. How does experience arise? Where does the experience of love come from? Who experiences beauty? Who experiences the feeling of I am? The sages of the Upanishads viewed this question from a completely different perspective. They said, perhaps we are asking the question the wrong way. Perhaps consciousness does not arise from matter, but matter appears within consciousness. This is where the true journey of self-knowledge begins. Our quest turns inward from the outside. We begin to look towards the witness that never changes, by removing our identity from the changing events. So pause for a moment. Observe the thoughts running through your mind. Feel the sensations in your body. Listen to the sounds around you. And then ask yourself, who is it that is witnessing all this? Who is it that knows the coming and going of thoughts? Who is it that is aware even in this moment? The Upanishads say that silent witnessing awareness is called supreme knowledge. And that same supreme knowledge, that same consciousness, is the ultimate truth. Prajnanam Brahma tells us that consciousness is the ultimate truth. But if consciousness is the ultimate truth, then the next natural question arises. What is the relationship of that consciousness with me? The answer to this question is found in the famous Mahavakya of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Aham Brahmasmi, meaning, I am Brahman. But before moving forward, it is important to understand a major misconception. This statement is not a declaration of ego. It is not a claim in which a person declares themselves to be God. Unfortunately, many people understand this Mahavakya only at this level, and thus its true meaning escapes them. In reality, Aham Brahmasmi is not something that increases ego, but rather a truth that calms it. The I being referred to here is not your name, your personality, your successes or your failures. It is the pure witnessing consciousness we just discussed. The same sky that lies beyond the clouds. The same silent awareness that witnesses every experience. The sages have called this the soul, the true nature of the self. I am Brahman is the name of that wonderful realization, where the seeker experiences that the consciousness within him and the consciousness pervading the entire existence are not different. The soul and Brahman are not two. Understand this with a simple analogy. Imagine you are standing by the seashore with a small vessel in your hand. You dip it into the sea water. Now the water inside the vessel and the vast ocean outside both share the same essence. The boundaries of the vessel make them appear separate, but in the reality of the water, there is no difference. If the character considers itself only as the water within the vessel, it will see itself as small, limited, and helpless. But the moment it realizes its true form, it will understand that its nature is no different from the ocean. Aham Brahmasmi is the name of this realization. The illusion of limitation disappears and reality reveals itself. When the identification with the body loosens, when the stories of the mind begin to quiet down, when the layers of personality start to lose their grip, then something remains within that never changes. That same silent witness, that same aware presence. And in that silence, a profound truth is revealed, that the consciousness within me is the same as that within you. It is the same in every being. It pervades the entire existence. Consciousness is not many. Experiences appear to be many, but the witness is one. Here the illusion of separation begins to dissolve. The same illusion from which fear arises. The same illusion from which insecurity is born. The same illusion from which endless desires emerge. Because if, at the fundamental level, all are expressions of the same consciousness, then who is truly separate? This is the reason why Aham Brahmasmi is not a mantra to be chanted. It is not a phrase to prove oneself powerful. It is a truth that must be recognized through direct experience. So pause for a moment and look within yourself. Childhood came and went in your life. Youth arrived and changed. Thoughts changed. Emotions changed. Circumstances changed. But amidst all these changes, a presence always remained. Who is it that witnessed all this? Who is it that has been present in every experience? The Upanishads say it is the witness, the true nature of the self, the Brahman. And if by now it has become clear to you that Aham Brahmasmi is not a declaration of ego, but an identification of the true nature of the self, then just write Aham Brahmasmi in the comments. I want to see how many people have glimpsed this truth so far in this journey through the Upanishads. The statement Aham Brahmasmi makes us realize that the true self within me is Brahman. But after this realization, another question arises. If that truth is within me, is it only within me or within everyone? The answer to this question is found in the third Mahavakya of the Chandogya Upanishad. Tat Tvam Asi, meaning, you are that. Among the four Mahavakyas, this is perhaps the most intimate and touching statement. Because here, there is no philosophical argument, but a father explaining the greatest truth of life to his son. The story is about the sage Uddalaka and his son Shwetaketu. After studying the scriptures for 12 years, Shwetaketu returned home. He was proud of his knowledge. He had read a lot and learned much. But his father noticed that although knowledge had come, something was still incomplete. The truth had not yet been realized. The truth, which once known, means knowing everything. Then sage Uddalaka began to teach his son the lesson considered one of the greatest teachings of the Upanishads. Repeatedly, through different examples, they explain the same truth. And every time, at the end, they say the same sentence. Tat Tvam Asi. You are that. This is not just a sentence, but a teaching. Tat means that supreme truth. Tvam means you. And Asi means are. You are that. Notice in Aham Brahmasmi, the search arises from within. But in Tat Tvam Asi, the truth itself stands before you and says, the one you are searching for is you yourself. He is not in some distant land. He is not an achievement of the future. He is present within you at this very moment. To explain this truth, the sage Uddalaka one day asks Shwetaketu to bring a fruit from a huge banyan tree. They ask, break it open. What do you see? Shwetaketu says, small seeds. Then the sage Uddalaka says, break one seed as well. Shwetaketu breaks the seed and says, I cannot see anything at all. Then Uddalak says, My son, this vast banyan tree has arisen from this invisible subtle essence. That which you cannot see is its real power. That is its real foundation. Then he says, Shwetaketu, you are that. On another occasion, he asks to dissolve salt in water. The next day he asks, Where is the salt? Shwetaketu says, It is not visible. Uddalak says, Taste the water from the top. It is salty. Taste from the middle. It is salty. Taste it from the bottom. It is salty. Then Uddalaka says, Salt is not visible, yet it pervades the entire water. Similarly, the true nature of the self is not visible, but it pervades the entire existence. And then he says again, Tat Tvam Asi. You are that. This is the beauty of this great saying. It not only connects you to your true self, but also connects you to the entire creation. If that truth is within me, then it is within you as well. If the same consciousness is within me, then the same consciousness is in every living being. The same truth is in the trees. The same is in the stars. It is the foundation of every existence. This is why, according to the Upanishads, compassion, love, and unity are not moral teachings, but the natural expressions of truth. Because when I begin to see myself in others, separation gradually starts to dissolve. And if the teaching of Uddalaka and Shwetaketu is touching your heart, just write Tat Tvam Asi in the comments. And if you love such profound journeys of the Upanishads, Vedanta, self-knowledge and self-realization, then be sure to join the channel, because our future journeys will take us to even deeper mysteries. Tat Tvam Asi shows us that the same truth pervades not only within me, but throughout the entire existence. And now, the Mandukya Upanishad takes us to the final and most direct conclusion of this journey. The fourth Mahavakya is Ayam Atma Brahma. That is, this self is Brahman. Among the four Mahavakyas, this is considered the most straightforward and experiential Mahavakya, because it does not point to some distant reality. It does not speak of some future achievement. It points to the truth present at this very moment, here and now. Ayam means this. That is, exactly this. Now. Here itself. The very self that is listening to these words at this moment. That which is witnessing this entire journey. To clarify this truth, the Mandukya Upanishad presents a wonderful analysis of the four states of consciousness. The first state is the waking state. This is the state in which we are currently. Our consciousness flows outward, and we experience the world through the senses. The second state is dream. Here, consciousness turns inward, away from the outside. The mind creates a new world from its impressions, experiences, and imprints, and for some time, that world appears real. The third state is deep sleep, that is, dreamless sleep. Here, thoughts become quiet. The mind becomes silent. The ego is also absent. Only the experience of deep peace and rest remains. But here the Upanishads present a very profound question before us. If the waking state changes, if the dream state changes, if deep sleep also comes and goes, then who is it that knows these three states? Who is the witness of the waking state? Who is the witness of the dream state? And who is it that after deep sleep says, I slept well? The Mandukya Upanishad says, this witness is Turiya. But to consider Turiya merely as the fourth state is not entirely correct, because it is not a state that comes after the other three states. It is the silent presence that is always present in the waking, dream, and deep sleep states. Understand it like this. Waking, dreaming, and deep sleep are like three different movies. But behind these three movies is the same screen. The films keep changing. The scenes keep changing. The stories keep changing. But the screen does not change. The Turiya is that very screen. That eternal awareness. That silent witness. That presence which is never absent. Ayam Atma Brahma declares this truth. It says that the witness you are seeking is nowhere outside. To attain it, you do not need to go anywhere. There is no need to achieve anything new. There is no need to attain any special state, because that truth is already present. It is looking through your eyes at this moment. It is listening through your ears. It remains the witness of your experiences. Consider this for a moment. When you dream, the waking world disappears. When you go into deep sleep, the dreams also dissolve. And when you wake up, the peace of sleep is left behind. All three states come and go. But there is something that never goes away, something that is present in every state, something that remains unchanged even amidst change. The Mandukya Upanishad points to that and says, that is your true self-nature. That is the unbreakable foundation. That is the supreme truth. That is Brahman. This self is Brahman. And thus, these four great sayings together form a complete journey of self-realization. They are not four separate ideas, but opportunities to view the same truth from four different doors. Prajnanam Brahma tells us what the supreme truth is. The supreme truth is pure consciousness. Aham Brahmasmi shows us that this consciousness is not something distant, but our own true self. Tat Tvam Asi reminds us that this truth is present not only within us, but in every living being and the entire creation. And Ayam Atma Brahma places the final seal on this entire journey. It says that the truth being sought is here, now, present at this very moment. But from the perspective of the Upanishads, these are not merely philosophical statements. Merely hearing or memorizing them does not change anything. Their purpose is to lead towards experience. Therefore, let us add a small self-inquiry exercise with each Mahavakya. For Prajnanam Brahma, sit quietly for a few minutes. Do not try to stop your thoughts. Just observe them coming and going. Then notice that the thoughts are different, and the knower of the thoughts is different. Gradually fix your attention on that knower. Ask yourself, what is this awareness that is watching the thoughts? For Aham Brahmasmi, pause for a moment any time during the day. Set aside your name, your role, your actions, and relationships for a few moments. Then experience that behind all these, there is a silent witness present who has seen every rise and fall of life. Try to rest in that witness. For Tat Tvam Asi, the next time you meet or talk to someone, remember for a moment that the same self-nature I am seeking within myself is also present within them. Just this remembrance can shift your vision from separation to unity. And for Ayam Atma Brahma, tonight when you go to sleep, observe yourself moving from the waking state toward sleep. Notice that thoughts are changing, experiences are changing, but a witnessing presence remains. At that moment, say to yourself, "This awareness that is here now is my true self-nature." Gradually, you will find that these great sayings do not remain mere words. They become mirrors for inner seeing. This is why the Upanishads do not consider them merely repeatable sentences. They are pointers for self-inquiry. Such pointers lead you not to a belief, but to your own direct experience. And when experience itself begins to speak, then great sayings are not just understood. They begin to be lived. And now, let us return to the question with which our entire journey began. Who are you? Are you just a name? Are you just this body? Are you your memories, your experiences, your successes and failures? Or are you something much deeper than that? The Upanishads gently encourage us to see that the things we have called I throughout our lives are all changing. The body changes, thoughts change, emotions change, circumstances change, identities change. But amidst all these changes, there is something that never changes. A silent presence, a witnessing consciousness, an awareness that remains present in every experience. It saw childhood, it saw youth, it witnessed happiness and sorrow come and go. It experienced both success and failure. And it is the same that is listening to these words at this moment. The Upanishads say, that is your true self. You are not the clouds. You are the sky. You are not a wave. You are the ocean. You are not a limited identity, but the consciousness in which all identities appear and dissolve. It is this truth that the four great sayings gradually lead us towards. Prajnanam Brahma reveals to us the mystery of consciousness. Aham Brahmasmi makes us realize our true nature. Tat Tvam Asi reminds us of our unity with the entire existence. And Ayam Atma Brahma confirms that the truth we have been seeking is here, now, and has always been present. The most beautiful aspect of the journey is that, in the end, we do not gain something new. Rather, we recognize the truth that has always been within us. The reality we kept searching for in the world was our own nature. This is the message of the Upanishads. This is the essence of the great sayings. And perhaps this is also the greatest discovery of life. Now, I would like to know from you, which of these four great statements touched you the most and why? Please be sure to write your feelings in the comments and be ready for our next journey as well. Because if you are not who you thought you were, then a deeper question arises. Is this world also the way it appears to us? Is there a deeper truth hidden behind our perceived reality? In the next journey, we will try to understand the knowledge of a very mysterious topic from the Upanishads, Maya. Until then, keep this question alive within you. Who am I really? Thank you.